Go live. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 o'clock p.m., Canoga Park, California. And we're at the 2LaneLIVE headquarters. We're going live today with Matt Laidlaw, and if you're lucky, part of his crew. And also, by the way, you should know, if you were wondering, probably are, this episode is brought to you by EagleRider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Check out the section on our website at 2LaneLIVE.com to learn how you can save a little bit of coin and have a good time on the open road. What's happening, boys?
Well, I'm kind of looking at the comments, and I see a Josh Brown comment.
The Josh Brown comments are never ending.
They're never ending.
A little background for those that are either new to the channel. Oh, you're drinking beers. Anyway, Josh Brown was the winner of the Thrashin Supply giveaway, and some person on here decided to start. They were getting a little sour, so they started making comments. It's all in good fun. And it's funny. So
yeah, this is the Danger Beach IPA.
Wow. I'm drinking a little bit of Juice Force.
So, hey, we had a little different drop this week that featured today. And we're doing this, my son, and thank you for mentioning that last week, but he's graduating tomorrow from LA City Fire. So we found out last night we actually get to pin him, put the badge on him tomorrow at the ceremony, Teresa and I. So that's pretty cool.
He just gave away the
No,
pinning.
that's different.
No,
that's completely different. But yeah, we're going Wednesday. Thanks, guys, for moving this around. We thank Matt Laidlaw, who's going to join us here in just a few minutes, for jumping on here. But you know, he put his premiere up yesterday, and it's been doing well. I think we've got comments on both sites about how great it is to see kind of our two channels hanging out together. And his group was cool, and then we put ours up today.
Right.
We showed definitely some rain riding, a little different style than we're normally accustomed to, but we dealt the hand that was dealt to us, we played the hand that was dealt to us, I should say.
It happens on the open road. You never know what's going to happen. So we go, we flow. I mean, we had 12 bikes on the road shooting rainwater everywhere. I mean, we rode more rain in a 2-day period than most trips. Most trips, you get a big storm comes in, it hits us within a 20 minutes to an hour, it's gone. This was relentless rain.
I don't know how it rained in the whole state the whole time we were there. Like every piece of property we were going to.
Right. And
every city, every town.
That's the first time in 2 years.
Yeah. We'll get into kind of how the bikes performed and talk a little bit about the fairings and the clothing that we wore. We did a little bit of that last week, but Matt had some different gear on as well. So we'll talk through that. Go back and also look at the Kentucky run. Those last episodes with Letitia telling her story, very emotional. We got a lot of incredible comments. And then we're going to drop one more, I think, of the Laidlaw group run. And then we're on to the documentary around Paige.
Paige is going to be awesome, but just get a bowl of popcorn, get on your couch. It's cool outside right now in most of the states. So chill on the couch and watch the last couple of drops we had, and go back and look at Laidlaw's from last night. It's up now, and look at ours that was dropped today. A lot of fun, a lot of great stuff to watch.
Yeah, and Josh, just tell them after this live. So what happens with our lives? Are they going to Spotify? Where are they going?
Well, first, it's just obligatory. I got to get to a couple Josh Brown comments. Grizzly Mickey says, Josh Brown uses the built not bought hashtag. Sure does. Archon 13, Josh Brown wears thongs backwards. Okay, that's it. These lives
thongs backwards.
It's an interesting one.
On your feet.
That could be interesting, I guess.
These lives end up on Spotify and hopefully now Apple Music. That should be working now. So if you want to check them out, listen to them while you're driving, while you're hating on Josh Brown. Whatever you want to do. If you don't have time to look at the screen, you can listen to them.
Well, and go subscribe, right?
Go subscribe.
You want us to subscribe, or what do you want them to do?
Josh definitely Brown. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and do it now. No, hey, we have Matt Laidlaw with us from Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson. If you haven't seen that dealership, it's awesome. It's great size. They got product, they got bikes, service department that's awesome. And it's interesting because now they're all our friends.
Salespeople, great. Finances, great. The whole group. We met both his father and his his uncle there when we were out there. Pretty
Right.
cool to see that family there running this dealership for as long as they've been running it. And we got a little bit of history in that drop. But speaking of product and sales, I'm wearing a 2Lane Life Garage hat. And we also announced in text stories and our newsletter that if you purchase something between now and Saturday the 17th, ending at 12 p.m., you will get an extra gift in your order. How about that?
Whoa.
So go check out 2LaneLIFE.com.
We
And if
missed
you're
one
listening
box
to
this morning.
after December 17th, you're not getting something in your order.
Right.
Whoa.
And just there's a lot of cool things on the website. There's blogs, there's information, maintenance, great parts. And hey, you can learn a lot about it. So follow it. So
Yeah, check out the blog section. We've got some really cool stuff written in there right now.
Yes, sir.
And before we jump to Matt, he's out kind of this direction, but we had a gentleman come in last week. He's Pasadena PD, works in the school systems and some of the other venues out there. He's also a combat instructor, CCW instructor, but he was so gracious today, and this has still got thread on it. So he took this off his uniform. Pasadena Police. We haven't got one of these, so thank you so much for that, and thank you for all of you that are out there that support first responders. Appreciate y'all.
well, let's get right to the
Should
point.
we do the thing?
Yeah, let's do the thing.
Well, it looks
Let's
like he's got a couple extra people behind him.
Let's
So,
get Matt.
Let's
in
check
here.
it out.
without further ado, my dudes already gave you an
Whoa.
intro. So here we
Look at
are.
that.
We got Mickey, we got Andrew. We can't read it. What does it say?
I just want to say a little love for Josh Brown. It wasn't bagging on.
I love Josh Brown.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Posse, what's happening?
What's going on, guys? Enjoyed the video today. Well done, guys.
Thank you. Yours was awesome as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a hell of a ride. I think Mickey and I were trying to bond there on the range, saying, "Hey, when's this going to break for us?" I was trying to keep the guy happy, but when you eat as many French fries as he does on a trip, I mean, I don't know.
I'm happy with the French fries. I'll live without this time for a little while.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it's the hard times that bond us the most, right? That was some pretty bad rain.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, when we were watching your drop, you guys had sunshine and all this beautiful stuff up at the dealership. Like, we were already deep in it. So I don't know. I mean, I think we probably had a little harder than you guys.
You probably did, although we were still riding at like 11 o'clock at night, and you guys were all tucked warm in your beds probably. So
Yes.
depends on how
That
you
is-
I guess.
That is true.
You got us there for sure.
I was in bed under the blankets looking at my phone. I heard your bikes roll in.
Well, at 11, we were just back to the hotel. We actually had taken an Uber over to a steakhouse. So, we ate, our bellies were full, might have had a libation or two, and we were in bed, ready to roll.
So I've got a question. I'm just out of curiosity. I see someone messing around back there. Is this guy Archon 13? Does anyone know who that is?
No clue.
Yeah.
This guy. He is the
The
leader.
originator of the Josh Brown comments in the house.
The Church of Josh Brown.
So how
That's how we
long, Matt, how long have all you guys been riding together?
Well, it depends on who you're talking about. I've been riding it as long as they've worked here, basically. So Mickey, probably the newest in the group here. Andrew now probably 5-6 years, 5.5 years. Nick probably 4 or 5, close to 5 years. Danielle about a year now. She has Danielle.
Yeah,
hi.
there she is.
About a year. Brandon got a Road King 2 years ago.
Yeah, I got really jealous of seeing all these trips happen, and I was just, it motivated me to get a bike, and then everyone motivates me to get a better bike. Working here, it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So
Right. Aren't you the guy that if you need a new spark plug, you just get a new bike?
No, it's Andrew.
No.
Oh, that's it.
That's me.
Yeah, Andrew, he's bought probably quadruple the bikes that I've owned in my lifetime, if not more, probably more actually.
He's committed
Wow.
to taking.
And then you had Eric with you too, so he's probably a couple of years there as well.
Eric, yeah, I mean Eric's been a technician here for what, 8 or 9, but he's been a tech, most of his adult working life. So yeah,
And then Emilio was the newest to the team, right?
Yeah, young buck.
Emilio, yeah, was the newest. He's in the parts department. Is he here right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's actually the only one working right now. The rest of us are, just hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
So, but if you get hired at Laidlaw's, you got to ride.
Absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, there's more departments than just me. We have motocross girls and stuff that don't ride, but if you work in sales, you ride. That's for dang sure.
Right on, right on.
So what when you got home, you guys, that last day was one of those days where we're trying to book but yet we want to see cool stuff. And then out of all this rain and all this stuff we went through, to see that sunset rolling out of Oatman, was that just not epic? Isn't that what motorcycling is about as well?
Dude, that was like the reward at the end of 2 hellish days of rain. Well, maybe hellish is a little bit overstated, but it was very cool. Yeah, Oatman, I think, was kind of the pinnacle of the trip. And, obviously we didn't show that part of the trip in our videos yet. I'm sure that's to come in your video as well as mine. But that ride, Route 66, through the Sidewinder Road, you called it, the back way into Oatman, like that was rad, guys. That was something that I'd probably never find on my own or think to do. So, yeah, that was cool. You guys showing us that route.
Well, I think that the thrill for me on this trip is you always go in the winter. You never stop a journey because things happen. Well, like we felt the rain and then we had that great sunset, but seeing you guys battle through all this stuff and digging it. And for me, having Matt, you yourself be blown away with Oatman and seeing these cool places that we stopped at, that was my highlight of the trip.
Yeah, I mean, sharing stuff with people you enjoy spending time with, right? So I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean that and some of those places like what was it, Hackberry and Cold Springs, like really cool, just historic little shops alongside the road that I'm grateful people actually work there, because it must be really boring. Like I just hope for a customer to come by because it's not a well-traveled road,
right?
Through that Cold Springs road. So.
And we got to eat at the Roadkill Cafe. That was cool in Seligman.
That was very cool. Great spot. Love all the ambiance and all the stuff around the restaurant and stuff, all the animals and stuff. So that was cool.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that first night and first day. You've got Nick there that was on the Pan America. Maybe Nick, share with us just a little bit about what you wore in terms of keeping yourself warm and dry, and then how that Pan handled in the rain, because it was some deep rain at times, as well as did that windscreen keep some of that moisture off of you?
Start with your underwear and go out from there.
Yeah. So if we had to go through all my layers, if I had to list all that we would just be here all day. But primarily gear focused was just I had the upper grit jacket, which is like a Harley co-branded Revit jacket that they have for their adventure bikes, and then I had just a Revit adventure pant that both of those have like rain liners that you can put in, and they hold up pretty well. But honestly, since they're underneath other fabric, it's not ideal for just like 11 hours of torrential downpour. Really, I think if you're gonna have that much rain, you want an outer shell that's gonna be waterproof, not like an inner liner. It's just so you're not as waterlogged. But the bike itself did excellent. I mean, like the Pan Am's kind of like one of those bikes where it doesn't really matter what is in front of you, like unless you probably should. It's more bike than most people are riders. So like it's usually going to get you through whatever it needs to be as long as you have the skill to do that. So I'm usually the bigger letdown compared to the bike in that regard. So, but in terms of the wind protection, it was great. Heated grips were great. All the traction control, did its job. It's just it's an adventure bike. So when your ride turns into more of an adventure than you're expecting, it's pretty well prepared.
Yeah, I mean, those bikes are incredible. We rode them both on street dirt. Great machine. Harley's done a great job with that bike as well. And so cool. Well, how about Mickey? I mean, he had a FXRP fairing. He looked like he had some Gore-Tex kind of stuff on. I don't know what he was wearing.
No, guys, I keep messing up. I keep trying to make cheap gear work, and it's not working. So last time I had, I just ordered off Amazon because we knew it was going to rain for the Santa Cruz trip. And so I ordered Frog Togs, and they actually did pretty good. And this time I knew it was going to be cold, so I got ski gear. No.
Tell them
Didn't work.
No, my boots were like fish tanks. They were like foot fungus suits. And
Well,
it was
no
all
matter
bad.
what you get reindeer wise, I mean, when you get a garden hose in your face for 8 hours, it's somewhere water's going to find its way.
Yeah, the RP fairing did well as far as, I mean, for what it could do. But I didn't have a front fender. I still don't have a front fender right now, so that didn't help either.
Just splashing all the water up through your trees.
Right.
Glutton for punishment. So Andrew wore the Frog Togs this time.
Yeah, they didn't work.
Andrew, step in. Talk about that. What's going on?
Gotta say, it's pretty good to be behind a Batwing fairing again, man.
Right?
It's a good fairing, and no, I did pretty okay in the rain, but
Brand new bike.
brand new bike. Yeah, I broke it in on the trip. I got back with like 1,600 miles on the clock. Did a 1K.
So 1,600 miles of going like 90 to 100 miles an hour the whole time.
Well, he was more going maybe like 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing 60. I was going up and down the rev band as per the Harley-Davidson owner's manual.
Of course.
Yes.
So talk about that new bike a little bit. You had the rain traction control on. You had the
Yeah.
RDRS system. What's going on?
Definitely feel a difference when you have the RDRS and the rain mode. It kind of desensitizes the throttle a little bit. You can feel there are a couple times where leaving out of a stoplight, you can feel like the rear tire kind of get a little bit too happy, but traction control kicks in and it keeps you upright. So it's really cool. It's the first Harley I've had, at least Big Twin, that has that system. The Pan America that I had the same thing, but especially a 900-pound bike, anything to help keep you upright is definitely something is good to have on the bike.
You got sideways once, right?
Yeah, I got a little sideways once. And I want to say the rain mode kicked in, but I didn't know how I saved it. Actually, I didn't even save it. I wrote it out. Like I was going to do whatever the bike was going to do. But when you're going that crazy in the rain, it's bound to be something to happen, So
Well, sometimes Lance needs to slow down in the rain a little bit. He likes to do a little faster speed, so we try to contain him a little bit.
He means the bike. Come on.
But no, man, it was fun. It was nice having the King Tour pack and that extra room and heated grips for sure, man. That saved my rump there. But
So your firsthand knowledge, you can say, "Hey, I rode it 1,600 miles, 1,550 were in the rain, and the bike handled well. And come buy one at Laidlaw's from me."
Absolutely, man. Come buy a bike for me.
There you go.
But as far as like the rain gear that I had, I mean, I had Nikki's hand-me-down Frog Togs, which worked well. But the only thing is not being able to access your pockets. Like when we go to stops and go to the, gas stations and fuel stops and stuff like that, you got to kind of peel back some layers to get to things out of your pockets and getting my boots wet. I mean, I got jungle rot on my feet pretty much. I'm still recovering from, man. So yeah, man.
Well,
you saw it. Go ahead.
That's the one cool thing about the new Thrashin Supply rain pants.
I saw that, dude.
I can put my hands right in my pocket from the outside.
Yeah.
Well, you also saw in your video, in the Laidlaw video, Lance was giving an educational series on the Harley boot covers, which are exceptional.
Yeah.
I definitely wish I had a pair of those.
Yeah.
Because going into Tucson at night, my boots were soaking wet, and I stuck the blow dryer from the hotel into my boots, and gave the room a nice aroma of feet. But I had dry boots in the morning.
So speaking of that, we should have Brandon come talk about what's going on.
Let me just paint a picture of how disgusting our room was in Tucson for all about 5 seconds. It was beautiful for 5 minutes. They left the request of the Doc Holiday on the bed, which they luckily fulfilled, and then that was ruined by just trench foot blow drying boots that just filled the room. That is a stench that'll haunt me for the end of time.
So you were on the Road King. Talk about your coverage and what you were wearing.
So I'm running the 2017 Road King, pretty much a stock windshield. I ended up running the Harley-Davidson soft lowers. I ended up getting a set for Matt too. I was pretty dry for the most part. I was running all the Harley like slip-on leftover rental gear, that was left around the shop, and it did me pretty good. Right until it didn't. And like I said, 8 hours, you said it perfectly, 8 hours of a garden hose of rain. 8 hours of a garden hose of rain in your face is you're gonna get wet regardless. The boot cut, I was jealous though of your guys' rain gear, of being able to access your pockets. I was peeping the Thrashin Supply rain gear, and definitely think I might need to get a set of those.
It'll be here shortly.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're never riding in the rain again.
Right.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, who knows? Never
If there's
say
8
never.
cloud in the sky, dude, I'm canceling the trip.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have had 2 in a row.
Yeah, people don't want to see us happy. They love to see the misery, I found.
Right.
So is Danielle still there?
Yeah, she's right here.
Get in
Let-
there.
Come
Danielle.
on in, yeah.
Come here, Danielle.
The only female rider, very brave.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with your riding ability, and but you also had like wool and different layers on as well, right? And you're on the Road King.
In camo.
Also on a Road King. Yes, we're a Road King gang here. So I go camping a lot. So I learned that smart wool is very clutch when you're in cold conditions. So I did a layer of wool leggings top, and then I wear Carhartt bibs. So I wore those on top. And then I had my beautiful camo rain gear, which was also from Amazon and did pretty well. I was not wet except for my feet. So Lance's suggestion of the feet boot, sock, whatever you want to call those things, would have been great.
They were great.
And talk about coverage on the windshield and how were you pretty dry behind that?
The first night, no. I switched windshields right before the trip, and I went with like a standard windshield. I have a police bike, so it's a little bit taller and more oval. And the one I chose to take on the trip kind of looks right at eyesight. So when we got to Phoenix, like I had to lift my visor up, but then the water kept like hitting me in the eyes, and then I like couldn't wear my glasses, and so I'm just like behind everybody, and I was like, I'm fucked. Like just
You weren't behind everybody. You were in the front actually, Danielle.
in
You're,
Phoenix.
oh, okay, maybe not in Phoenix, but the next day.
The next day, I was definitely at the front. I had my
You were
visor
doing
down.
like 90 in the front.
Yeah.
Well, she was hanging out up front with us.
Yeah. The next day was fine. I could keep my visor shut. The first day, there was just water inside, outside. It was bad.
And then what inspired you and Josh just to take off and leave us all in the dust?
Well, it had something to do with you guys going 70 miles an hour. Like you'd pass someone
I
going
was not
90 and
doing
then
70.
slow. Not you. You were going at least 74. But you know what? She started ripping. I'm like, all right, the guys behind me are going a little slower. She's going a little faster. Ain't no moving backwards in life. I'm going forward. So we went forward, we ripped, and then we hooked her right when we got off at the gas station. She filled up the tank, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to make her right for sure. And then we're sitting there, and we're here, 8 bikes just make a stop and all start ripping to the left. So we hopped on, we caught up to you. But that was a good rip. She got ahead of me at some points. I was getting a nice little front end wobble with all that weight in the rear with the tour pack, and I'm just hanging on for dear life. I'm like, it's all good. Give it some rear brake. We're golden.
Just a little dark.
Awesome. Well, it was fun riding with you, Danielle.
It was fun riding with you guys too.
We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Let's bring the guy that had all the heated gear in.
Mr.
Yeah.
Laidlaw.
I wanted to save him for last.
On a side note, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get a beer with you guys.
Oh,
Why didn't you
yeah.
get what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, when we got into Tucson, obviously it was too late, but
Oh, yeah.
and then
Well-
Jerome we're pretty much dead. So
We're drinking for you now.
Next time.
Well, you didn't have one with us in Tombstone?
no, Tombstone, we kind of got split.
It's your own.
Danielle, Eric, and I had beers. Mickey had a Red Bull.
Mickey?
That's his own fault, Galen. Don't let him make you feel bad. It's his own fault.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
right.
we need to go drink. Is all.
He was out trying to marry Brandon.
I said no, by the way.
I was thinking about captions for that post, and I was trying to remain,
PG.
PG. So we left it.
So Matt, talk about. I mean, you had everything heated on, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm at a point in my life now where I just want to be prepared. I'm a Boy Scout, that's our motto. And so I just wanted to be as comfortable as possible. I was looking at the weather and saw that Jerome was going to be in like the 30s. I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm not going to get sick. And so I had a heated vest. It was the hot wired stuff. And then I bought the pants. Then I was like, you know what? I might as well just go all in. So then I bought the insoles in my shoes, and I bought the liners for my gloves. So I had like 4 wires hanging out of my gear, and I had the Revit Passage stuff, the Harley-Davidson stuff that launched with the Pan America. That was the best, by the way. I rode it with it on our last voyage down the Highway 1, and it's waterproof. I was totally dry in that stuff. My boots were soaking wet, though, and my gloves I had to take off at some point, but I was warm, that's for sure.
So if you would have just had the Harley boot covers, the only thing that really would have gotten wet is your hands.
Totally. Yeah. Next time I have to ride in the rain, not by choice, but next time I have to ride in the rain, I'm getting those for sure. You guys inspired me. Thank you for that tutorial, Lance.
Hey, no problem. Well, I got home and text Swedlin right away, and we have 3 new sets coming to our office because ours are beat.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had those for probably 5 or 6 years. And we carry them all the time. We just carry the whole bag with the rain suit and those sitting on the top of it. And I mean, they're worth their money in gold.
I mean, that was a question someone had recently, like just staying warm in general. If you just have an outer shell of rain gear, it doesn't matter. Like for us, if we know it's not going to be blistering hot, at least if it's going to be cold, just bring the whole rain suit. Maybe not booties, but rain pants in an outer shell or a windbreaker / rain top. When it's cold as shit and you already have your hoodie and your vest and your this and your that on, and you're still cold, throw that shell over, no wind's getting in, and you are solid.
Yeah, we carry it almost 100% of the time that we ride because you don't know what elements you're going to get into. And like you're saying, we left Page, I should say. It was 23 degrees when this was the first week of November. By the time we got just outside of Kanab, it was down to 16 degrees. We had our Dickie man suits on.
Oh, he's got it.
I wore this morning because it was 40 at my house and the frost was on the lawn. But this thing, is lined.
It's a blanket.
It's, oh gosh, man, I'm just warm.
So we did some math too while we were riding. If it was 16 degrees and we were going 95 to 100 miles an hour, we figured it was 8 degrees while we were riding.
That was not scientific math, but
it was a mental calculation.
If you throw like the Thrashin or any rain gear that you have over the top of this thing and break that wind from cutting through the material, you just stay pretty damn toasty. We have never been fans of heated gear because we're too tough for that. So I'm not calling you out, Matt Laidlaw.
That being said,
but the boys at 2Lane just looked into Alpine Stars and some Canada. What is it? Canada
Gear Canada.
Gear Canada.
They have
heated gear.
It's kind of 2 levels of things. Like the Alpine Stars, they have like temperature sensors in the vest. You can set a baseline temperature and it'll actually measure your body temperature and adjust accordingly. It's Bluetooth, it's battery, it'll plug into the bike or it'll be battery powered. They got waterproof heated gloves. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to test it out, put some miles in it. Hopefully
but I think it's on our website.
It is on our website.
It's on the website at 2LaneLIVE.com. But I want to thank Matt Laidlaw for being the influencer that he is to influence us to maybe look at this stuff.
Yeah, Matt gets the influencer.
You get all the credit
of the year.
Here's the deal, guys. Nobody has ever questioned your toughness. You've already proven yourself. Now that you've proven yourself, you must just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. This is true.
I've been telling you this.
No. Call you guys pansies because we already know you're
on video
warriors. Yeah. So
we'll see the the thing is about those suits, even down to 16 degrees, we were warm because we had a ton of layers on. But then it comes down to like packing, and I probably said this 1,000 times, but like if you got heated gear, you just don't have to pack as much shit. So
yeah, this
it saves a little room.
It's pretty bulky, so we have to use a strap on, as you would say in technical terms.
I got one of those.
A what?
A strap on.
A strap on.
It's a very technical
bungee
term.
cords.
I was wondering if I heard that right too.
I was almost asleep. And
My wife's husband has one of those.
She has bungee cords.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Dude,
So Matt, you were on the Street Glide. Talk to us how you felt in the rain, because there was some light rain there. Man, coming into Tucson when we thought there was supposed to be no rain, it really came down on us, and it was pretty heavy. How'd that thing perform? How did your fairing, your windscreen work? I saw Brian Clock sent you a message as well. You have to look at that from Clockworks.
But wait a second, before you get into that. So did your warm gear, the heated gear actually work for you? You loved it from head to toe?
Like a charm. I'm so sold on that stuff. The heated gear was awesome. I was warm the entire time. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes, you said that.
My hands and my boots got wet. But the fairing was great. I mean, a lot of these guys, some of these guys had the windshields like Danielle and Brandon. It sounds like they did pretty well, all things considered. But in my opinion, there's no substitute for an actual molded fairing, right? Because you're just going to get a lot more, coverage in terms of wind and rain deflection. But I actually added the soft lowers, like Brandon mentioned. He was nice enough to hook me up with those. And so those just zip right onto the crash bars, the engine guards. And that really helped with, blocking a lot of that rain that would get in my boots. And I do feel like it gave me a little bit of drag on my bike, though. When we were going home on the 40 and you guys were blazing west on the 40, like I was having a hard time keeping up with you guys. My bike has a 107. I think you guys are both running 114s, but when we were going up some of those grades at undisclosed speeds, I was having a hard time keeping up. I felt like those soft lowers were like wind sails out there.
Oh, they definitely. I got 88 miles out of one tank from Ludlow to Victorville. I was like on E.
88 miles?
What?
At 100 miles per hour, pushing with this guy who's got the.
Oh, we weren't going 100.
Yeah.
Not once. The whole trip.
Well,
that's 65. The highway.
Yeah, that's more
to
like
your
it.
point, Matt. Those zip-on things are like a sail, a wind block parachute, where when the lower fairings we have air cuts through them.
Yeah, the lower leg fairings, those are the way to go if you're real serious about, getting that extra protection down on your legs. But the zip-on soft ones are a good temporary solution for relatively inexpensive as well.
Yeah.
But I got a question for you guys. So when we were going to the Jerome Grand Hotel, we got a little bit turned around. I don't think anybody documented that on either of our videos, but I decided to hightail it up a road that my GPS was taking me up. And, it ended up being a little bit of a mistake. It was an adventure, but it was a little bit of a mistake because it was kind of hairy, like it was really kind of treacherous, and it dead ended into like a dirt lot up there, and it was pitch black.
Yeah, we lost you guys there,
But
man.
you guys didn't follow us up there. My crew followed us up there, and then when we got down to the bottom, you guys are just disappeared. So like,
So I
saw Galen go to the left, and I saw you go up the hill, and I went, well, I ride with him all the time, and he went that way. I'm going that way because I don't want to go up that hill you went.
And it took him a while to even make that decision because we turned around and Galen was like, oh, it's a little messed up going up here, but this is the right way. We're good. So I followed him. Lance hung back for a little to wait for you guys. But something told me you guys going up this steep, narrow, bumpy road that it was going to end up like that. So you know what? Sometimes you just got to wait it out. Let some guy –
well, here's what I've learned over the years, Matt. You let the guy, I think his name is Nick, who's on the Pan America, take the high road, and you sit down at the bottom of the hill and wait for him to come back and give you a report. You don't take your 900-pound Street Glide up someplace that you're going to eventually have a hard time turning it around. I just went with my spidey senses, and I hung a left, and I said, that's the only place we can get up to that hotel. and you went up that road, which is you had to take the center of it because everything else was blown out. Yeah, we were there before you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is fact.
Well,
But then, it's kind of like the kids following their dad. They just want to see what's up there. So here they go.
Here they go.
Well, we definitely know who the kids were on the trip, and you guys, I think, used your brain and your spidey senses. I think your spidey senses served you well.
Ours failed.
Yeah, I wish that would have been documented because it was kind of fun to watch you guys go up there.
You should have seen it from my
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah, it was pretty bumpy and treacherous, and yeah, getting to the very top, there wasn't much room to turn the bikes around. It was uneven dirt and everything. Yeah, yeah. You guys definitely made the right decision there.
But did you, when you got to the top, it was a dirt lot? Was it dirt going up the hill too?
It was like this uneven like cobblestone and everything going up there, super bumpy
and super steep.
Andrew, anything you type, I'm going to put up on the screen, and you know that.
And
we didn't talk much about that. How did you guys get turned around up there?
It was kind of like go up the hill a little bit and roll backwards. It was like a 10-point turnaround.
There's a lot of joint pain.
A lot of joint pain.
Yeah, and then coming down wasn't any easier. Like the ABS was kicking on my bike. My bars were kind of going into like a little bit of a wobble there.
I was coming in hot behind him, and his feet are down, and I'm like, well, I can't stop now. And I see right behind me, here comes Nick. I'm like, now I can't stop, and we just.
I'm lucky they didn't plow into the back of me. But yeah, we get back into the hotel, and you guys are checking in. There was no more word of what had just happened. I was like, okay. Right. We'll just pretend like that never happened, I guess.
We were already chilling, yeah.
Well, we were trying to get there before the bar closed.
Dude, that
okay, gotcha.
I didn't know if you went up, though, and we're going to be able to keep going and come around the other side of the hotel.
No, I could tell it was jacked up at the top. I'm like, there's no way. They could have went maybe a different direction, but it was like, and then I could see, actually, here's one of the telltale signs. When you see the bike doing kind of these up the road, it's like
well, they just need a little bit of a sign there that says, hey, left to the hotel.
Right. Well, we've been walking up that direction, and we've seen guys fall over on their bikes on that turn into the hotel many times.
Yes.
We've actually had to help pick up bikes.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to curve around into the hotel and go into the backside, but once we hit dirt, we kind of tapped out at that point.
Yeah.
We got Busted Knucks in the house. They're saying they're doing that same ride in 2 weeks. So when we were coming back from Page and we stopped in St. George, my bike decided not to start again and ended up throwing all these codes that couldn't be cleared. Anyway, Busted Knucks, they got a motorcycle garage in
St.
George. And they came out with tools, helped us out. We gave it a nice fix, and we're back on the road. And a nice 2 days after we got back from this trip, now those codes are firing again. So I'm living on the edge. I'm riding, knowing that it very well might leave me stranded, but I'm still doing it. So
you've got an issue in the
all the codes. I ran them. They are wire pinches.
Yeah,
love it.
Well, I thought it was Busted Knuckles. It's Busted
Knucks. Maybe this is a different guy, and I'm just giving him a shout out.
I don't know.
It could be.
But I will tell you, whether it's Busted Knucks or Knuckles,
good dudes.
We went through there, had a beer with them. But you guys should, if anyone's listening to this that does travel in and around southern Utah, these guys have lifts. They have tools. This is just a community group that, if you're broken down, they'll help you get back on the road. It's pretty cool.
I mean, we made one phone call and they were there in 20 minutes.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I saw that on your guys' stories. Your Page ride, that looked pretty dang cold.
Yeah.
It was a cool one. I mean, before we leave for the trip, we're like, oh, there's going to be some, days in the 30s. It's a little chilly. We should get some layers. And then on the way back, when it started going in that 15, 16 degrees, you're like, okay, I was being a bit of a pussy about the 30-degree weather.
Well, the Page trip is going to be awesome because We got a guy to take us on some UTV rides. We got a boat ride on Lake Powell, and all this stuff happened as we were living this journey there, and fate was happening, and we were told we're not going to get into the dam or on the dam to get any pictures. And next thing you know, we're on the dam, we're in the dam, we're down in the bowels of the dam. They're opening the floodgates for us. I mean, there's going to be a lot of cool things from Horseshoe Bend and beyond. I mean, that was one of my favorite educational.
Shot machine guns.
We shot machine guns. That was great.
That's
Balloon
cool.
regatta.
The fact you guys got out on the boat and hit Lake Powell, that was very cool.
That was probably my favorite thing from the trip, aside from getting some guns out. But like I said, we had planned to go out for half an hour, get a quick history, get out on the water, come back. We're out for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Checking out some fingers of the lake, all that. It was a good time.
Well, and not to say anything, but if you want to go to Lake Powell Chronicle, there is an article with 2LaneLIVE saying "Shaking Hands with America" and why we were there.
Did you see that, Matt?
I did. I mean, I saw you guys on your social media. I don't know how to access it to read the article. Is it online or what?
Yeah, if you just went lakepowellchronicles.com, boom. There it is, front page, 2LaneLIVE.
Shaking hands with America.
That's awesome.
Well, that
December
town was
9th or
very
something.
happy that we came there and interviewed and talked to people and are showing the positiveness of Page, Arizona. So they were happy we were there. We were happy to be there. It was good.
Well, I think that's
rad.
One of the reasons why. I mean, we had you on a podcast here earlier in the year. Andrew's better stop it. He's getting crazy on this.
That was Mickey.
Oh, Mickey did it. He's shaking his head. But we, in all seriousness, respect your bike reviews and the stuff that you do. And then when we see you take people from the shop and go ride and find places around the, and the stories that you give and the narration that you give about the history, that's pretty damn cool on how you do that. We respect the content that you do, and it was fun to ride with your crew and have them, like, they're in the room now, and they're, we say this all the time. We didn't really, Mickey said it in the drop, like, I don't really know some of these guys, but I'm getting to know them, and I'm in the weather, and it's not the best, but it's fun, and I'm riding, and I'm outside, and I'm not in some element where I'm working or doing, I'm out.
Oh,
and that's that freedom of life that people don't choose to live. They choose to sit behind a television or a computer screen on the weekend, or they don't get out and experience this stuff. And I got to tell you, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, and there's 12 of us, and we're on bikes, bad weather, just all this stuff, and everyone's laughing most of the time. We're all having a good time learning about each other, and I really kind of enjoyed going to gas stops or different places and smelling Mickey's cigar.
Yeah, for sure.
If I had to guess,
that was good.
From that trip, I was doing the math. Once again, not a scientific calculation, but my conclusion was that Mickey smoked about 247 cigars.
No.
Yeah.
Don't smoke, kids. Don't smoke.
Mickey, he's outside. He always has a cigar going, whether it be in his hand or on his bike, propped up somewhere or whatever. But
as soon as I hit the kill
But
switch.
George Burns smoked 20 cigars a day.
He lived to be like
big fatties.
Yeah.
A wealth of knowledge, my friend.
Yes.
But I agree with you, Galen.
Yes, fun fact.
Drop a like on this video if you think we should smoke cigars inside on our next live.
So someone just said Matt Laidlaw's mustache is carrying as a CCW.
Yes.
I mean,
this is better. Matt's mustache has an FBI file. No, Matt's mustache is open carry itself.
Ah.
It is licensed, boys. I have a permit for this thing. So.
Wow, LA County too, huh?
What does your wife think of your mustache?
Oh, she loves it. She feels safer with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
She feels safer with it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You get a certain kind of respect with a mustache and a beard,
Or you
really
get people looking at you like you're a cop or a fireman.
Drop a
Right.
like on Matt Laidlaw's
know?
mustache.
And I
Yep.
would never fill the Baylor or act like I was law enforcement, but you know, I think it comes to the territory.
You went full CHP too. You got modular mustache, white modular mustache, especially that little look. It's like,
Yeah, I agree.
For those of you that are listening, I'm not going to read that comment out loud.
Even just getting out there, even though you know it wasn't always like rainbows and sunshine outside. Just getting out there and talking about it after the fact. The camaraderie was always good, and if any day on the road beats a day behind a computer screen, right? So
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to do it again. We're going to get these clowns bunched up and go. But, one of the things on a serious note, too, is we don't generally ride with other folks other than like the young guns. And to be in that kind of weather and ride with 11 other bikes, 12 other bikes, I thought everyone did a fantastic job. And it's the group. Sometimes the camaraderie doesn't happen. And this could have been one of those where people were just like super bummed about being there and not having a good time. And, but it wasn't that. And it makes us want to ride with you guys. We had people comment like, hey, open these rides up to us, do a raffle and maybe let us ride with you. And, maybe do some 2LaneLIVE tours. And it's like, that, sometimes we just like to ride with our group and have our fun because we know exactly what we're going to get. And it's hard to sometimes bring other people into the fold. But with this guy what's his handle? Archon 13. Archon 13.
Who's in that room?
That guy needs to ride with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Andrew, just so we're all clear.
No.
We
don't think that's Andrew. We think it's someone else.
All right. We'll just leave it at that. I agree with you, Galen. It's always interesting riding with other people and like especially people you don't know because as much as I'd love to ride with everybody, not everybody I guess is in tune with the type of riding you do, the hand signals. Not everybody's ability level is the same. And let's be honest, the ride that we went on, that was an advanced ride. Like I would not feel comfortable taking someone who's only been riding for like a year or so on that ride. Like,
why'd you bring Andrew then?
we just cross our fingers with Andrew, and usually he just gets lucky.
Yeah.
No, but finish your point.
But yeah, it's my point. Like it's hard bringing people that you don't know what type of rider they are, and this isn't me sitting on my high horse saying I'm some type of like great rider or anything. But you do need experience. There were plenty of times where it was raining hard, we were going fast, and if you weren't really comfortable out there on the highway, like you can get yourself into a bad situation.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, we ride, the three of us really know how we ride. When we go with Lance and his crew, we all know each other, but I like to look at everyone who's riding, and never once on this trip did I feel uncomfortable with anybody on this trip. It was like, all right, we're all flowing. We're all doing the same. It was all, in my opinion, great.
And everyone was pretty safe too. Like
I have to tell you, like us being on the comms, we weren't connected to you guys, but I'm in the front. I can't see all 12 bikes all the time, but I'm saying to them, where are they? Are they with us? Leave some of them off for a minute.
Okay.
While we're talking.
Yeah.
Right. But there was this factor of like, are they safe? Are they close? Are they behind us? Do we need to slow down? So, as much as, we resisted doing the comms for a number of years, just like with heated gear, we found, that those comms not only help us with our editing and production of our drops, listening to great music, having camaraderie in the comms and creating characters and laughing our butts off while we're on the road. There's this huge safety factor with them too. And although we were not connected, we could at least keep an eye on, and if we're going too fast, we'd slow it down a little bit, and but it's an investment that people should make. And if they're group riding, I don't care what comm you're on. We run cardos, but whatever comm you're on, if you're in group, it's something. Because Lance and I were hand signal guys for how long? 10
Forever.
years.
But when you can say, hey, braking right, braking left, slow down, stopping, they're stopping up there, someone's making a left turn. You know, we were like guiding each other, and it really does make it easy.
Yeah, I mean, there was one situation, perfect example. I was running up front to film you guys a little bit, and so I was kind of near the pack, and there was a right turn where we had to exit the highway, and you guys must have commed to Josh, who then signaled me to get off.
Yep.
But without the comms, we would have missed that exit, and who knows how long it would have taken us to try to backtrack and get back on track. So
yep.
Yeah, the comms they're pretty vital. We have some haters in the group actually with the comms. It's actually Andrew. I'll just call him out. He's not about the mesh and the comms, and I think it's great personally. I'm all about that. If it's a tool that makes the ride better, why not use it? In my opinion.
Right.
We're more brand. Is the argument. It's hard because there's so many different companies from a parts perspective. You have like Senna, Cardo, Lexan, and sometimes all those don't mesh up. But to have that many guys in the group being able to like still hand signal, if you have one guy in the front and you have another guy with the same comms in the back, just having that communication is key. I don't care how long you've been riding, just having communication is everything.
It's a big deal too, because like on a 12-person ride, it's not uncommon for like the group to roll out of a gas station, especially for like someone like myself, or I'm sure that like on a bigger ride this could happen, as well as someone else who's like fiddling with a bunch of camera gear and like trying to get everything put away, and then people roll out, and it's like being able to call and be like, hey, hold on, I'm catching up or whatever is nice. So the comms are they can be
if everyone was connected at the same time, it would be kind of hard because you'd start really getting people talking over each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but for three of us, it worked good. You could do a little more, but even if you had groups of people with them.
Yeah, I don't think, what's the most people we've had in a group? Like
probably
6
Shannon,
to Sturgis?
4. Oh, yeah, Sturgis.
We had me, you, Lance,
4,
Juan, Junior, and so 5.
Yeah.
Right? That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you had like 8, 12 people, but.
Well, it was funny because Junior was saying, the first half hour, would you guys just shut up?
Yeah, and then he was the loud.
And then at the end of the day, it made that
he loves it
trek go faster because we're just, I mean, we've created these weird characters on our, we even started speaking in a different tongue. And I said for 4 hours we were doing this, and I said, it's going to stick with us. Trust me. And next thing you know, it's still with us today. We have a different dialect.
So here's one interesting thing about the Cardos and why we run them. Josh was on the freeway this morning coming to work.
Oh, yeah.
Shannon, riding with Yogurt, was going the opposite way on the freeway, doing his thing, and they connected as they passed and were able to talk for a few seconds.
So he has 2 motorcycles, and both of them have rather, I say obnoxious jokingly, but stupid bright yellow lights. So I always see him coming when he's coming the other way, doing his deliveries or whatever. And I see these yellow lights, and no matter who it was, I was going to warn him. There was like a CHP kind of pile up down the line. And I hear this little, and then like 30 seconds later goes group disconnected. I'm like, what? Like it randomly just connected like that, going probably both of us highest speed going 55. Opposite directions. 55, of course, definitely. Right. But I was going to say earlier when our group kind of almost split in 3 when we were heading into Jerome, I was up with Danielle. You got somewhere in the middle. Brandon was in the very back, of course. And but Galen told me, hey, get off at exit 287. Like, what? What are you talking about? Get off at exit 287. So I'm just pedal to the metal trying to keep up with Danielle. And she's like passing by every exit. And then I put my blinker on finally when we're, 100 miles ahead, whatever, and we get off. No big deal. So they do come in handy, especially in times like that.
Yeah. And we as we got a little closer to you, you could hear us again. And I mean, the Cardos for us have been the go-to, the way it meshes the sound. And then at the same time, some other brands that we've used when we're doing drone shots and Josh is wearing his helmet, we're a quarter mile and it's gone.
Yeah.
Where like we were doing some drone shots
He's
with
about
you
a half
guys,
a mile.
and we could talk to him and hear him clearly, and he's like, "Keep going, get faster."
That's cool.
Was that a lap dance that Andrew was doing on Brandon? What was that?
Just now?
He just
Yeah.
walked over and did a lap dance.
It was a quickie, but yeah.
It's my fiance.
It's all about efficiency.
That was kind of
here.
weird.
We did have a question asking if the Pack Talk is compatible with the Senna. It is. It's not quite the same as a Cardo to a Cardo. I think with the Cardo, you have to treat it like a Senna, where you like click the button if you want to talk, versus the Cardo. And maybe there's updates with Senna, and I'm just not educated, but it kind of turns it more into a walkie-talkie than a full-time hybrid talker. But yes, they are compatible. I think the Sennas are fairly compatible with a lot of other brands, right? As well.
I think so. I haven't really tried to mess with it too much. I rev the Harley-Davidson Senna, and that's usually what I tell everybody, at least my guys. You know what? You're at the dealership. If everybody just gets the Harley one, we're okay. Obviously, the Cardo and some of those other ones are really good products as well. But to get everybody on the same brand, so they're all compatible, is kind of what I'm going for with my guys. But like Brandon said, we all kind of have different brands, and so it's hard to always kind of link up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's 4:56. We can spend another couple hours watching Brandon and Andrew lap dance and hug each other. We love the marriage proposal picture. We could smell some more of Mickey's cigars.
So, but real quick though, so what was your highlight of the trip, Matt?
I think my highlight was on Monday, where we were going down the old historic Route 66 and visiting, Huckberry, Cold Springs. And then really, I think the pinnacle was when we visited the Oatman Hotel and went in there with all the money stapled to the wall, and we signed our dollar bill and stapled it to the wall. That was very, very cool. So I mean, spoiler alert here on our next videos, but that was rad, guys. That was a very cool little route and a good destination.
Route 66.
Well, you mentioned what your favorite part was, that seeing these guys really kind of love the Hackberry and Cool Springs.
I dug it.
The little sign in Kingman where we got a picture, and maybe some drone will show up there. But I actually maybe it was kind of Mickey and I talking, but that rain, you're talking about an advanced ride. That was an accomplishment. That was literally, 14, 15 hours of rain with very little break in it. And so I was proud that everyone was able to keep up and not have an issue, because in some of that stuff, very light rain, not a big deal. But in some of that heavy stuff, like when we were coming into Tucson, you could see the big rigs, how deep the water was and the type of spray that you were getting off of that. And I know you guys went through that when we got into Tucson that day, headed back and changing our route. We were in some very heavy rain. When you're on those old roads that aren't kept up as well as the interstate, where maybe we got a little sideways with a couple of us, to see everyone safe and weather that, and sitting at In-N-Out, having a burger and just enjoying and talking about the day. That's what makes the ride for me, is that you accomplish something incredible.
Well, that is cool for sure. One thing that was really great too, honestly, was watching Danielle for several miles dancing on her bike the whole time.
Yeah.
She was rocking out.
Well, I think that was cool, but I also got to say, I don't think in all my years of having breakfast, I've seen a biscuit the size of Brandon's head and Andrew pouring a full bottle of syrup on 2 pancakes.
We got to keep my blood pressure high.
Yeah, we got to keep the sugar levels high.
And then the other thing that was really interesting for me, you guys are not brothers, but you were eating off of each other's plates like you were homies forever. And it's like, dang, these guys are just going for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Galen, that's just the surface of what they do together. We won't go into the details.
I have
But
photos. I have terrible photos.
Don't
Yeah.
open Pandora's
So
I
they
think-
can make fun of Matt Laidlaw's mustache all they want,
Yeah.
but they've got some bro love going on.
We're
I'm
not
telling
just
you.
YouTube personalities.
Yeah.
We're all actual friends.
Yeah. And
You know?
they're
We're close. We keep it close.
if we go on future rides, you might see more, but we'll just,
What do you mean if?
We're gonna definitely go
Oh,
on
for
some future
sure.
rides.
We're going.
tell them about the ride we're going on, Lance, unless you want to keep it a secret.
We'll tell them, but I got to say, we get a lot of comments, and I know you got the same too. People saying they love seeing 2LaneLIVE and Laidlaw together on a road trip.
Oh yeah, we've gotten a bunch of that. Yeah, and you guys were a blast to go with, so we definitely need to go again.
Yeah, where are we going? Where are we going to try and go with them? What'd you say?
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple things we could do. We were talking about maybe getting Matt and his wife and maybe doing a 2-lane wives and do a little run there somewhere. But we were talking about it out there. I'm sorry that we missed Payson and Jake's Corner and those areas. So very cool. But I think we could do a up the 49 into Sonora and then over the top 108 and get into the 395. The Sonora Pass, go to Bodie,
You guys would dig
and then
that.
head back down. It's a cool ghost town.
That
Yeah,
sounds
Bodie Ghost Town, definitely cool.
So before we leave, though, in your drop, you guys looked a little sketch on kind of the ghost that was running around the hotel.
I was like Scooby Doo.
What was happening?
We were trying to recreate a Scooby Doo moment in the hallway. It was kind of too fun not to, you know.
Perfect.
Really.
Yeah.
But did you guys have any paranormal activity at night? I know Andrew and Brandon did. I'm sure there was paranormal activity there.
Yeah.
But any other in the room stories we hear?
Yeah, well, there was a picture of a little girl, probably about 10-year-old girl on the wall in our hotel room. It was really spooky. And we actually found out that the room we stayed in was the x-ray room. And so like our kitchen that we had in our room was where they used to develop all the photos. It was like the black room or the dark room. They developed all the photos of the broken
Yep.
bones and everything. So the next morning we woke up and Nick said he had a dream, but I think it was more than a dream. I think it really happened. This little girl was in our room with a knife. So
What?
yeah, so she was just prowling around our room with a knife in our room that night.
Wow.
I was
Yeah.
hoping she would kill me so I wouldn't have to go through more rain.
And then we wake up to like hoping there's no rain, and it was fogged in like a mother.
Yeah. Josh and I were like talking all this game about the drone shots of Jerome and how epic it was going to be. And we were literally inside a cloud the next morning.
Right.
We done the
And it didn't happen.
too. It was a cold
Yeah, it
cloud.
was cold,
too.
but it warmed up as soon as we kind of got out of that valley. It warmed up pretty good, and the rest of the day was beautiful in my
And,
opinion.
Yeah, it was-
and we got all that on film, and we're going to share it, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So we want to thank you, Matt and team, for spending an hour with us. Great drops. It was great to get to know you guys even better. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you and your families. Can't wait for the next ride. We're going to have a good time. Hopefully you won't bring the rain with you this time again.
Yeah, I
You
take
guys-
full responsibility for that.
We're not
Yeah,
coming.
and
You
Merry
guys-
Christmas to you both.
Rain dance MC.
Yeah.
You guys definitely rock. You're part of the family. It was great riding with you for sure. And, subscribe to the 2LaneLIVE
And Matt,
YouTube channel. Subscribe to Matt Laidlaw's channel. And check these videos out. They're fun.
Matt, any deals you got going on at the dealership they should know about?
There's only so much we can talk about in terms of deals on bikes, but I do have some baggers right now. I've got some Street Glide STs. I've got some Road Glide specials. So if you guys are looking for a bagger, I got one Lowrider ST left. That's a hot bike right now. I got some Rev Max Sportsters. So yeah, come see us. Yeah,
If you want
And,
to be like Andrew, go ahead and get yourself a new bike.
yeah.
Hey, think of it this way. If you come into Laidlaw's and get some stuff, look, you're going to see that group of dudes right there. And Danielle.
That's right. We're here. We ride, and we're the people that help you out when you come into the dealership as well. A lot of people think that I'm just the guy that makes the videos. No, I'm here on the floor, selling bikes. So Thank you, though, guys. It's been a pleasure, and the ride was awesome. Have a very Merry Christmas, and we can't wait for the next one.
I know.
Much love, and let's do a 3, 2, 1 down the road. 3, 2, 1. See you down the road.
Down the road.
See you down the road. All right. I will tune
Later, guys.
See ya.
out later. Well, good times. It is 5:04 p.m. Canoga Park, California. We're not quite signing off yet because I got a feeling by looking at you, you got something to say. You got some more game for these people.
I've got a little.
Oh, that's the look in the eye. I'm empty.
So
I've
yeah,
got a lot of work to do tonight.
check
so I
out
might
our
need another.
videos, man. They're really good.
But yes, we have one more episode in the Laidlaw times 2LaneLIVE series. This next one actually is pretty dang cool. We get a lot of stops along Route 66. We got some great drone shots. I need another drink. The weather cleared up, so the skies were clear. We had some great riding, like I said, great shots. And it was nice that everyone kind of got out of that rain mode. And then after that, we're going straight into the Page documentary style series where we got some cold weather riding. We've got some amazing history. We've got some, you name it.
So I will say a few things, and I'm never at a loss for words, as my friend will tell me, as he yawning over here like he's ready. No, I'm kidding. So look, next week is the beginning of Christmas in terms of you will be gone Thursday.
Yep.
So
Friday. No.
I think you're gone Thursday.
Let me look at the day just to make sure.
But I don't know that we're going to go live next week. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you that have supported us during the year, during the last 2.5 years, both on the YouTube channel and through our store, 2lanelive.com. We have helped a number of people get their bikes set up. We've had a lot of great fun with comments. I love the portion of our videos at the end where we put up, viewers' comments. We had Michael Patterson up today. And we just want to thank you for supporting us. The future is bright for us.
Yes.
And if we don't get a live in before the end of the year, maybe we'll do one the last week of the year. I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll do one next Wednesday.
We could do that too.
And just wish everyone a Merry Christmas and
I
actually
was thinking
recap
about
our
that.
year. We could do it.
But it's great to have a crew like that with Matt. I mean, we knew them a little bit from going out there. But what a fun team and to go ride with them in really difficult conditions the first day and a half.
We know them even better.
We know them even better. So Laura popped her head in. Are you guys doing something tonight? Or
yeah, we are babysitting tonight.
Again? You had them last night.
2 nights ago. Monday night.
Oh, you had them book club night.
Yeah, now we got them tonight.
All right. So she needs you home. But thank y'all for watching.
Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're glad you guys are here, and thank you.
See you down there.
And I guess we'll see you down the road.
Yes. Boom.